Lizzie?
Oh, God, Mrs. Jackson, you're trying to stop this old ticker of mine.
Now, if you were where you're supposed to be, you wouldn't have got such a fright. Now, why aren't you in the laundry with the others?
I'm feeling a bit crook this morning, Mrs. Jackson, and I thought I'd just have a gander at the medical dictionary and find out what's the matter with me.
And what symptoms are you looking up, Lizzie?
Oh, just a touch of the collywobbles, I reckon.
I see. You haven't actually been sick, have you?
No. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else was.
Okay, I was sick. So what? It's no big deal. It's not surprising the muck you get to eat in here.
I see. So you think it was the food that made you sick?
Yeah, probably. I had a bit of gut trouble the other day. I saw the doc and he gave me some pills. I thought it was just the end of that.
Did you eat your breakfast this morning?
Bit of it.
Was there any reason why you didn't finish your breakfast?
Just didn't want it.
Did it taste all right?
Like I said, the food in here's muck. Tastes like muck.
Apart from your obvious opinion of the food in here, I am trying to find out whether your breakfast tasted any different.
Oh, I don't think so. What are you getting at?
There are a number of women in here who do not like you, Latham. Do you think someone is out to get you?
I don't know how you mean, Mrs. Davidson. I have been feeling a bit funny, though, today. Yeah, it's different than what it was the other day.
Different in what way?
It's a lot worse. I spewed a lot more.
Oh, watch your language, Latham.
It's all right, Miss Bennett. Go on.
Do you reckon someone's trying to poison me, Mrs. Davidson? B. Smith would be happy to see me dead. She even said so this morning. Oh, what have they done to me, Mrs. Davidson? I've been feeling real dreadful.
You'll be all right, Latham. Bring Smith to me immediately.
Have I done something? Because if I have, I don't know what it is.
I warned you, if anything happened to Latham, you would get the blame.
Yeah? So what?
Last night, something was stolen from the examination room.
Ah, so that's what the big search is all about. Well, what sort of something?
A bottle was taken from the drug cabinet.
Well, you ought to know how I feel about drugs. If you think I took it, you're barking up the wrong tree.
What was taken was more of a medicine than a drug.
Well, I don't need any medicine, do I? Nothing wrong with me.
No, but there is something wrong with Latham. It seems to me that she's been at the receiving end of the medicine that was stolen.
I wouldn't give I wouldn't give her anything. I don't care if she drops dead.
Exactly. And I believe you said as much this morning.
Well, I still don't see what you're getting at. What was this medicine for, anyway?
It's an emetic.
Oh, terrific. That tells me a flaming lot.
Makes people vomit.
Oh, charming.
Which is exactly what Latham's been doing for the past few hours.
Oh, I see. So you think I've been making her sick with this stuff? Well, I told you you're barking up the wrong tree. I didn't go anywhere near the surgery last night, and I didn't steal any bloody thing.
I'm glad you think it's funny, Smith. It'll give you something to laugh about in solitary. Take her away, Miss Bennett.
You can't do that.
Oh, yes, I most certainly can.
I can see you're running true to form.
The more you argue, the longer you'll stay in solitary.
Oh.
Now, that's outrageous.
Really, Meg? What exactly?
What you just did. You made your judgment on the flimsiest of evidence.
Smith threatened Latham, and it seems she carried it out.
Seems is right. We can't be sure it was Smith, as you know yourself. There's any number of women in here who'd want to get even with Latham.
I think Smith did it, and I will not tolerate her so-called justice any longer. The woman has always been a ringleader and is a prime troublemaker.
Maybe so, but I can't see how you can claim your justice is any better than hers.
I've made my decision, Meg, and I will not discuss it any further. I think perhaps you are being less than objective in this particular case.
And what exactly does that mean?
I know it's difficult for you, Meg, working with Chrissy Latham here, but you should not allow your personal feelings to
I will not listen to this.
Very much for lunch. I'm sick of this place.
I wonder what the governor wanted to see B for.
Oh, something wrong with B. I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah, well, it's not like her to miss out on dinner.
Look at old Vinegar. She looks real pleased with herself. And look at that. She looks even more pleased than Vinegar. I don't like it a bit. And I reckon I know what it's all about.
What, Lizzie?
Did you find something out?
B hasn't done anything, has she?
Oh, you don't have to do anything wrong to get into trouble in here, do you?
Yeah, and if we find out that someone's caused trouble for Bee, well, we'll make them sorry that they're alive, won't we, Lizzie? They better not turn their backs on us for 1 minute.
That's enough of that, Anderson.
Miss Bennett, can I go and lay down? I feel funny.
You better not bump into Bee. That'll make you feel real funny.
She's hardly likely to do that.
Where is Bee, Miss Bennett?
She's in the pound, where she belongs.
But why?
What did she do?
Jeez.
I'll take over. You can go if you want to.
Something wrong?
Where's Latham?
In her cell. I gave her permission. Look, you don't want her vomiting in here, do you? I don't know what's the matter with you, Mick. I'll leave you to it.
Where are you going, Lizzie?
To the dunny, Mrs. Jackson.
What are you staring at?
Oh, you poor thing. Feeling crook, are you? Been chucking up a lot, have you?
You get the hell out of here, you old bat.
I wonder what could be making you sick.
Yeah, you'd know all about making people sick, wouldn't you? Well, if you don't back off and leave me alone, Lizzie, I'm going to blame you as well as Bee. Then you'll end up in solitary too.
Come on, Lizzie. Back to the recreation room.
Yes, Mrs. Jackson, but first I got something to tell you that I reckon you'll be real interested in.
All right, Lizzie. What are you up to now?
I know all about that ipecac stuff. I read it in a medical dictionary.
Now, how did you find... No, don't tell me. I can guess. Well, what about it?
Well, Gov reckons that Bee did it, don't she? She reckons that Bee pinched the stuff and slipped some to Chrissy. That's why Bee's in the pound.
And what if she does?
Listen, that medical book says that ipecac stuff works right away, 20 minutes at the most. So how come Chrissy's still being sick and Bee's been in the pound a couple of hours?
Well, perhaps the effects continue for a while.
No, says once you've vomited, you're all right. Over and done with.
Well, I'll have a word with Dr. Miller and see what he has to say.
Oh, he'll tell you the same thing. I mean, if it says it in the book, it must be right, mustn't it?
Trouble is, Lizzie, if Bee isn't slipping the stuff into Chrissy's food, then someone else is. And who do you think's the most likely suspect?
Yes, Lizzie is quite correct. The effects of ipecac syrup are virtually immediate. I'd say within 15 minutes at the most.
Oh, really, Doctor? I wish you'd given me the full details of the symptoms in the first place.
You didn't ask me. And besides, I wasn't greatly concerned because the taste of the medicine alone would alert anyone who took it. It would be virtually impossible to disguise it in food or drink.
But someone's been giving it to Latham somehow.
Well, I'm damned if I know how.
She said her breakfast tasted quite normal.
Well, then it certainly wasn't spiked with ipecac syrup.
How does Lizzie know so much about it?
Well, she said she looked it up in the medical dictionary.
Well, then if it comes to that, how did she know the name of the medicine? We didn't know ourselves when we had the women searched.
I think she might have heard it mentioned in my surgery. Look, I didn't know it was a serious problem, and you certainly didn't swear me to secrecy.
Very well, Doctor. Thank you for your time.
I'm sorry I can't stay for a while, but I do have to get back to my practice.
I think you've done all you can. Really, I shall be glad when we can find a replacement for Dr. Miller. It's quite obvious his interests lie elsewhere.
Well, he did say he hadn't thought it was a serious matter.
Exactly what I mean. What we consider serious is no longer of any importance to Dr. Miller. I know I'm being unfair again. You said you had Chrissy Latham outside. Would you bring her in?
Latham?
Sit down. I believe you've been sick again.
Yeah, brought up all me dinner. Whatever Bee's giving me, it's still working.
No, it doesn't work that way. We understand the missing medicine makes you sick almost immediately.
Must have been more of it in me dinner then.
Well, then it couldn't have been administered by Bee Smith. She's been locked up for the last 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Well, someone else must be giving it to me then, mustn't they?
It certainly seems so.
Mrs. Davidson, I'm scared silly. What's going to happen to me?
You'll be all right, Latham, unless somebody gives you some more of the medicine.
You're going to let Bea out of the pound, then?
Yes, I am.
Well, she'll be out to get me worse than ever.